So over the past 2 years, I have been able to max out my trading 2-on-2 stocks and shares ISA on pretty much the first day of the new tax year. Now, as you can see, here is my trading 2-on-2 stocks and shares ISA portfolio. And if I scroll down, many of you eagle-eyed viewers will see that my current ISA allowance is completely left open, and I've used £0 out of my £20,000 per tax year allowance. So in this video, I'm going to explain why I have not maxed out my trading 2-on-2 stocks and shares ISA in this year. Now, before any of you start thinking that it's because of the stock market crash that I do not want to invest further, then you can't be further from the truth. Now, I've always shared with you guys my trading 2-on-2 journey. As you can see, currently my stocks and shares ISA portfolio is looking really bad. Just before the crash, my value was £116,000 and right now it's £102,000. It sucks to be down by so much. As you can see by these losses, if you total them up, it's actually over £14,000. But I guess that's just part and parcel of the stock market. Now, as an investor, I've always tried to max out my stocks and shares ISA allowance because I personally think that is one of the best tools that we can use as an average person to be able to build long-term wealth. Now, you can see I also always make use of my trading 2-on-2 invest account as well. This is because outside of an ISA, you do get £3,000 of capital gains allowance, and I always make sure to actually maximize that allowance. The previous year, it was £6,000 and the year before that was £12,300. So you can imagine if you made, £12,000 worth of profits back then or £3,000 worth of profits right now, that could help you to add towards that £20,000 ISA limit to help you maximize that. Now, typically speaking, when I max out my stocks and shares ISA, the next thing I try to do is to put as much cash as possible into my trading 2-on-2 invest account. And the idea is as soon as the new tax year opens, I can just sell off my holdings and then transfer them into my trading 2-on-2 stocks and shares ISA. Now, this year was the first time the strategy backfired in my face. As you can see, this is my biggest holding here. So this is in the iShares Core S&P 500. You can see I bought it not even at the top, but as it was falling, thinking that, by the time the new tax year opens, it probably will be back to normal. So that's basically what one may get if they think they can time the market. But anyway, as you can see, I deposited well over £20,000 in there. I thought I would have a bit of spare change. But anyway, I am down by a massive 10.64% or a loss of £2,291. Now, I do not want to sell off all my holdings right now and crystallize that loss. I don't know why anyone would do that. So best thing is to just keep it in there and maybe it will help me to maximize my next year's ISA limit. By the way, if you would like to sign up to trading 2-on-2 and receive a free fractional share worth up to £100, all you have to do is to use the link in my description box down below. Alternatively, if you've already signed up to trading 2-on-2 in the past 10 days but have not received your free fractional share, all you have to do is to click the 3 horizontal line menu over here. Scroll all the way down until you see the section use promo code, and in this section just enter my code JUBAIR and you should receive a free fractional share. So as you can see right now, my plan to put £20,000 into my invest account and then transfer it over has failed successfully. However, that is not the only reason as to why I am not maxing out my stocks and shares ISA right now. So I've decided not to actually deposit further into my trading 2-on-2 stocks and shares ISA, and this has absolutely nothing to do with the platform. I absolutely love the platform, and you guys may know that I'm very, biased towards trading 2-on-2. Most of my videos are about trading 2-on-2 and most of my portfolio still remains on trading 2-on-2. Now, the reason as to why, I've decided that is because I want to keep my £100,000 in here and see how it grows over the long term and still be able to use other brokers and platforms and see how they are. I believe competition in the UK for a platform with very low commission or fees is a very good thing. Trading 2-on-2 currently, in my opinion, can't really be beaten, but if there are others out there, I want to use them too. I will not be transferring out of my stocks and shares ISA from trading 2-on-2. I also want it to be a benchmark of what could be if you just leave, let's say, £102,000 or £116,000 and update you guys on what that will look like in the future. Now, of course, there are many reasons as to why anyone makes a decision. The other is that I want to start maybe potentially saving up for a house deposit, and I do not ever want to touch this portfolio. So if I keep it in my trading 2-on-2 stocks and shares ISA, I will probably never touch it. And hopefully by the time I'm 60, this will be at least £1 million. And then I can try to maybe take out 4% a year and retire off of that or something like that. I've decided to open 2 new ISA businesses this year, one with XTB, which I only deposited £300 in, and then, decided probably that's not the platform for everyone, and therefore I just left it. The main broker that I will be using will be Lightyear, and I will try to deposit the rest of the £20,000. Now, as it stands in my personal life and the way that I set up this business on YouTube, I have a whole lot of expenses. I may talk about this in a dedicated video, but I'm going to be owing tens of thousands of pounds in tax and even VAT, and currently all my cash is tied up. So I wish I had cash to put into the market, especially given the fact that, this holding over here is down by 12%. So in my opinion, if I put my money in right now, I could be buying it, between a 10 and 12% discount, which I think is really good. That's not to say that the stock market isn't going to go down further, crash or whatever it is, but I would be very happy to put in money right now. I don't know when I will have free cash to be able to put into my stocks and shares ISA, but if I had planned this better and kept cash along the sidelines instead of, investing it for the short term, then potentially I would be, able to max out my stocks and shares ISA and things would have been really nice. But as you guys know, I am always going to be sharing my journey, the highs and the lows. I don't particularly think this is that much of a low. I did miss out on the good prices of the market, in my opinion. Remember, not financial advice. However, who knows where the stock market's going to head? It could possibly be a few more months or few years of red, and therefore in hindsight, it wouldn't have been such a bad thing that I did not invest at this time. So really, nobody knows where the market's going to head. And honestly, if you think you know where the market's going to head, you're probably going to be disappointed. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'm going to see you in the next video.